The brooms are out again, but not for a good reason. Only because this Cubs offense is just not very good right now.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. Today's episode is presented by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Cubs Rockies preview later, the last 3 games of August. Wow. September call-up options, including other roster updates, which includes Jameson Taillon, again, going to the injured list. And we start with the Cubs losing 4-3 to the Giants on Thursday as they got swept away in a 3-game series for the first time all year. The Cubs are now 76-58, 13-13 this month, 17-19 since July 20th. Shota Imanaga, who leads all major league starters in fly ball rate, allowed 2 fly balls over the fence that proved pivotal, and Daniel Palencia could not preserve a 3-3 tie in the 9th as the Giants won all 3 games. There was one situation in the 8th we'll get to where Matt Shaw was doubled off. Also some numbers the last several games for Palencia. And Sam, the Cubs really haven't stacked wins for a prolonged period more than a few times this year. They did it for that 21-game stretch in the spring. And outside of that, it was really just 2 10-game stretches, including the one entering this week. But they lose all 3 in San Fran. Disappointing.
Yeah, really did not see this one coming. Really didn't, because we pre-recorded the show yesterday. I didn't see an embarrassment position player situation for Wednesday evening, and then Thursday was a game you could see coming. Close, hard fought, 2 good pitchers going. Cubs definitely hitting some tough luck. I'll acknowledge that on Thursday, but it's just I don't know what else to say, but it's just they're not scoring enough. When I did my solo show on Tuesday, I listened back to it, and I just said basically for 20 minutes in a different way that they're not scoring enough. I mean,
right.
I know, Colin Ray was by no means stellar Wednesday night. Shota was by no means stellar on Thursday, and Boyd struggled Tuesday. But you can't pitch great all the time. Like, JD says it best. When the Cubs get down, it's like, man, earlier in the year, you really feel like they would have a chance, but you just don't. They're just not scoring enough runs consistently. They gave Owen Casey a try today.
That's a joke, man.
A
1-game cameo
against against an all-star.
Right.
Definitely a little concerned with Palencia's last few.
Okay, yeah, I was going to definitely check in on that.
He had the close call against Milwaukee where he had the line out to second. Close call in Anaheim on Sunday. And then, this outing. But, ultimately, I think we're in a pretty safe place to say that this season's going to come down to 3 games in early October for the wild card.
Yeah.
And the Cubs are going to have to score more runs. You'd love to win 3-2, 2-1, but you're going to have to find a way to score more runs in this series. They just didn't do it.
If anything, I could see a path to them still winning with 3 runs or less just for the 2 wins, especially if they're at Wrigley. But if they're not at Wrigley, it's going to be hard to see a win with 3 or less runs. It is. And I know there's more nail biters in the playoffs because you have your 1 or your 2 or your 3. And a a lot of bullpen usage.
You're saying if it's not at Wrigley, they'd have to score more than 3, most likely.
If it's not at this point with 28 games left,
Yeah.
if the wild card series is not at Wrigley, that poses a higher likelihood of an early exit.
Yes. Because yep.
And you might be saying, well, there's 28 games left, slow your roll. But I have 30, 40 games of evidence now to support this theory. There's 17 and 19 since July 20th. They only average about 3 runs a game. That's not good enough.
And that's with a 12-run game in there.
I'm confident in their ability at Wrigley. I still like their chances with Boyd, Horton, and Imanaga. But this has, despite the Angels series, this has been a prolonged offensive malaise. And I was optimistic in the 8th inning. Because, first of all, 2 innings before, Michael Busch, on the 10th pitch of an at-bat, hit a home run.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I thought they were going to win.
So did I.
He steps to the plate again in the 8th with Matt Shaw on second, only 1 out, after Shaw just laced one to left center. Shaw does not freeze and retreat on a line drive.
Yeah.
He didn't do the basics, and in a blink of an eye, the inning was over. And ultimately, now with hindsight, that was the game. And so, definitely wanted to zoom in on that play. Before I get to Palencia's last 9 games I pulled up, anything else from this game or this series?
I just want to, politely, as not only my show partner, but one of my good friends, I'd like to politely correct you.
Okay.
You said that outside of the Angels series, this offense is bad. It's 1 game they hit well in the Angels series.
I couldn't credit all 3 games.
No, absolutely not. They scored 3 and 4 runs. Like a good offense.
So it's literally 1 game since July 20th.
Well,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
I think a good offensive stretch.
No, I'm sorry, Craig. I know you got ejected.
and by the way, thank you for Craig for doing that. It was nice to see. I'd like to see the last 28 games average like close to 5 runs a game. That's a good offensive stretch.
I'd take 4 1/4. 4 1/4 runs a game.
1 game of 12 runs and then just scoring 2 or 3 every day. That's not good offense.
And
Let me put it to you like this.
Okay.
Put it to you like this.
No, please.
Let me put it to you like this.
Cubs.
They travel to San Diego for the All-Star or for the
All-Star game.
For the wild card game.
Yeah.
And they scored 12 runs, 2 runs, and 2 runs. How do you like their chances?
They score 12 runs, 2 runs, and 2 runs, they'd lose the series.
Correct. And guess what? Doing some quick math, 16 divided by 3, they'd still average over 5 runs a game in the series, but you got to be consistent.
Right. And when they would face King and Cease, right?
Yeah, and a lot of bullpen.
Bullpen for the ages, perhaps.
Yeah.
They had literally three relievers get named to the All-Star game, and then they traded for Mason Miller. And they have Robert Suarez. So, folks, last 9 games for Palencia.
Oh boy.
A lot of strikeouts, but a lot of contact as well. 12 strikeouts, but 12 hits, 4 walks, 5 runs. I am officially concerned about the Cubs' de facto closer. And maybe this weekend at Coors, you try Brad Keller.
Wow.
And something like that. So Kyle Tucker, since the Angels opener, 9 for 22. But yeah, I just can't get over the Cubs' inability to prolong a good stretch. They did it one time in the spring, And that was it the whole year.
Well, they were in one. They were 8 out of 10 is a great stretch, but now
Yeah.
8 out of 13 isn't.
Exactly. They just could not keep it going. And you look back on this series, they really weren't in the series at all. Besides today was teeter-totter.
No, and I thought when Nico hit that 3-run homer last night,
Right. It's exciting, yeah.
I mean 3-1 game, I thought they were going to cruise. And then they ended up losing by about 30.
Reese McGuire pitched.
Yeah, if you told me Reese McGuire was coming in that game, I would have thought it was because the Cubs were up 20 runs.
Coming up next, Jameson Taillon is going back to the IL, and a September call-up preview as well. Stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by Upside. Hey, Locked On Cubs fans, are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code SEASON to get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25-cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Shout out to the everydayers. You can become a Locked On Cubs everydayer by joining us for every episode throughout the week, hence the name. And make sure you subscribe to Locked On Cubs. That way you don't miss any of the great Cubs content we've got for you, which includes the Cubs postcast with Joe George live after the final out of every game. Joe, after the 12-3 defeat on Wednesday night, called the Cubs' performance comical in all caps. Wow. Jameson Taillon's bullpen on Wednesday in San Fran went okay, but the Cubs still decided to place the veteran pitcher on the IL after leaving his start last week with left groin tightness. Taillon made just 2 starts this month after missing almost 2 total months with a calf injury. Javier Assad will start Saturday as he gets the promotion again from AAA. Assad has been involved in a number of transactions the last few weeks, but he's never actually left a major league clubhouse. So he's pitching on Saturday in Colorado. Sam, Jameson Taillon is at a point here where it's like, man, he missed a lot of the year.
Yeah, I didn't feel all that good about Craig's post game. What was it, Sunday? When he's just like, you're always concerned, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, typically, we have evidence with JMO that these injuries, these soft tissue injuries are an issue for him. Calf, groin, and I just didn't feel good about it. And so, yeah, it's been an incomplete season for Taillon, and I wonder kind of how much you can really rely on him come October, and your rotation now, so your big 3, and then it looks like it's what, Ray, of course, and then Assad. I mean, that's your 5 guys right now, and then who knows with Ben Brown. But yeah, disappointing. I mean, JMO's been hurt a pretty good amount, in a Cub uniform. Is that fair to say?
Well, his first year, he was absent a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is at least his 4th IL. It's got to be, right?
Yeah, no, he's missed time for sure.
And I mean, look, it's there's nothing he could do about it, but I think one of JMO's big values to the Cubs is taking the ball every 5th day, giving you 6-7 innings, and so him not being available, it is an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, he still ended up going 30 games, 23, 28, and 24.
Right.
But I'm not sure he'll even get to 25 this year.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably not as.
But this year, though, that's the case for sure.
Yeah, I think part of JMO's contract, JMO makes a lot of money, right? Makes $18 million. And I just think part of his value is being able to take the ball, and he hasn't been able to do that this year consistently. And I'm sure there's nobody more frustrated about it than him. But it's I mean, you look at his numbers. You're right. You're right. I'm looking at it. He started 32 games with the Yankees in 22, 29 in 21, 32 in 18, only 7 in 19. With the Cubs, he started 29 games and 28 games, like you said. So you're right. So he'll probably, but this year you'd like to see that number a little bit higher.
Absolutely. And hopefully Assad can pitch well on Saturday. We'll preview Cubs Rockies next segment.
But I will say, Matt, real quick, you got to give the pitching some props, because if I were to tell you before the season, no steal pretty much all year, Imanaga missed 8 weeks?
Yes, he did. 7.
Taillon has been, on the IL now a couple of times. I mean, those are 3 huge names that you're missing out, and starting pitching is not your problem.
We're going to get to possible September call-ups in a bit, but let's stick with the injured Cubs theme, because there's candidates to return that would make Monday's call-ups somewhat of a moot point, I guess. And that doesn't even include Taillon, because you have Miguel Amaya for position players. So when he would come back, someone would have to leave. And then you actually have, and again, this is in addition to Taillon, a trio of pitchers, including one who's currently on a rehab assignment. Sam, do you remember Eli Morgan?
Sure.
He's currently on a rehab assignment. And then you also have Ryan Brazier and Michael Soroka.
Wow.
And Taillon. So whoever gets called up Monday, I don't think they're going to be here throughout the whole month. And because of that, I do think I decided to only look at healthy players already on the 40-man. And there's only 3 options on the position side. Moises Ballesteros, Kevin Alcantara, and Ben Cowles, who was part of the Mark Leiter deal last summer.
Yep.
And then the available pitchers on the 40 are Tom Cosgrove, Porter Hodge.
Wow.
Gavin Hollowell, Luke Little, Jack Neely, Nate Pearson, and Ethan Roberts. But especially the pitchers, but I would say even a position player as well, either Casey or whoever gets called up Monday. It's only going to be a couple weeks they're going to be here, because Amaya will come back and then at least one pitcher, if not more. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But the Cubs, as all teams do, have to add a 27th and 28th player on Monday. So we will stay tuned for that. I think there would be some irony, though, with all these position guys healthy and available, and then just down the hall, Casey and Ballesteros are available, and then they just continue just not to play. And they're both here. And we've heard about him, and they're right.
Yeah.
They're there, you can touch them, and they don't play.
I'd love to see Ballesteros get some time.
You won't.
Yeah, I know that.
Coming up next, the Cubs play a team that almost has 100 losses already. Are they going to take advantage of that? We tell you about it next.
This episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table, kind of like Kyle Tucker. That's why there's Monarch Money, and it's an all-in, All-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. You can identify that you aren't saving as much as you thought. Monarch helps you notice an inefficient investment allocation and discover forgotten 401ks from past jobs. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB.
Cubs play the Rockies for 3 games in Colorado this weekend, 7:40, 7:10, and 2:10, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's all Central Time. Cade Horton and German Marquez, Javier Assad, and McCade Brown, and TBD and Tanner Gordon. I could see Ben Brown starting Sunday with Matthew Boyd getting more rest leading off the Braves series on Monday. And Friday night begins the final 28 games. Cubs have, 13 left on the road and 15 at home. And can they go 19-9 over the final 28 to get to 95 wins? That's the biggest question looming for me. The Rockies, meanwhile, will enter Friday 38-96. So they won't suffer. They're not eligible to suffer their 100th loss this weekend, but they sure are close. And they're not at the pace of the White Sox from last year, but they were at one point, and then they heated up a bit. So are the Cubs a part of 3 sweeps in a row, perhaps?
Yeah.
And they get 3 victories against the Rockies of Colorado.
Look, I'm not going to go with that. I mean, I'd like to see that, but the offense needs to have a massive weekend. And
if they don't, what are you going to do? Because you've threatened to leave this show 27 times. And would it be a 28th? Because but seriously, if they win 4-3 Friday night, what do we do?
Well,
it'd be better if they win, don't get me wrong. But
the first thing my dad taught me as a youth
score
is
5+.
It's always a good day when the Cubs win. So I'm not allowed to get mad at a loss.
Absolutely. I misjudged there.
I'm just not allowed to do that. But I'll say this. If they don't put up, I'm not going to put a run total because you could get that done. If they don't have 3 competitive offensive showings, I want to see this team put up 5+ in all 3 games.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Right.
So I don't care if they score 28 on Friday and then 2 on Saturday isn't enough.
So it's a per game total.
No, because per game, you could count the 28.
No, I'm saying you would like to see them go 5 per game.
Yeah, I want them to score
5+
at least
per game.
5 in each of every game.
Right. Not a total over the 3 games.
Yeah, not an average per game.
Right, and not a sum as well.
Right, not a sum, not an average. Because if you score 15-2-2, that's still an average.
Right.
It's still decent. They need to score at least 5 in every game.
Yeah, I could see them putting up a couple touchdowns one of the games.
Yeah, that doesn't – fine. Great. If you score 14, I want the next game to be 5.
I think that's fair, though.
3 consecutive 5+ run showings. That is my goal.
I like it. I think it's very much needed at this stage. Because the Cubs hit the last checkpoint of the season. Can you believe it on Monday? Memorial Day, 4th of July, trade deadline, Labor Day are the 4 checkpoints.
No, I'm going to do some stuff in the off season. Just reevaluating.
Well, where am I going to be during that?
With me. I'm going to be reevaluating how we capture time. Because this show, it goes by too quick, man.
So you mean that's going to be on your own. So that's not a show topic necessarily.
No. I can't believe, like, dude, Memorial Day. I mean,
I was at the game Memorial Day.
I think if I remember correctly, I did a watch along, right?
Yeah. And you were at the game 4th of July or the 4th of July Eve.
Yeah. July 3rd.
Yeah. And then we both waited by our computers at the trade deadline for no moves.
Yeah, I can't believe how fast a baseball season goes. It's just, I think it's because the NBA is about a 6-month season too, but that always feels like it drags on longer because you only play a couple times a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in baseball, it's like, you knock out a week, you knock out 6 games.
Yeah, no, it's 6 usually, sometimes 7. And for 28 games to be 28 games in baseball is just such a small number.
It's 4 weeks.
And it's only 17% of the year.
Yeah.
Incredible. All right. I hope they go 19-9 over the final 28. We'll see.
Well, they hopefully they only need to go 16-9 and they take 3 in Colorado because, a loss there would, that would be disappointing. Worried about Assad.
Okay. Why is that? You're not sold on him right now.
No. It's just he just gives up a lot of contact. Yeah, a lot of hit baseballs
to contact,
and it's a really hard park when the ball's in play. People always talk about Wrigley when the wind's blowing in, right? But the other part they don't talk about is there's no room for the baseball to land in Wrigley. The gaps are tiny.
Yeah.
In Coors, it's the exact opposite. Coors, it's the exact opposite. It's the ball flies out of the park, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also it just lands. Like you'll see a ball, you'll be like, all right, that's a routine fly ball to left. Nope, that's going to bounce right in front of Hap because he's got to play miles
covering
back.
A lot of territory. Yeah.
So it's both. It's a very hard place to pitch in.
All right. We'll be back after Cubs Rockies this weekend. This is Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. For your second listen, check out the all-new College Football Kickoff Show. This is another big moment for Locked On. College football fans, Locked On and Fire TV present College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. A college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the year, only on Fire TV. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs. Chris Jacobs.
Shout out to Matt Cozy and Sam Olber, hosts of my favorite podcast, Locked On Cubs.